breaking news has rocked the world of megachurch ministries. At 63, Pastor Creflo Dollar has been rushed to the hospital in a sudden and alarming health scare, and now his wife is breaking her silence. What really happened behind closed doors, and could this crisis change everything about one of the most controversial pastors in America? Stay tuned, because the details are shocking, and you won't believe what's coming next. Pastor Creflo Dollar is no stranger to headlines. Known for his extravagant lifestyle, high-profile ministry, and controversial statements, he has always attracted attention. But this latest health emergency has the public and his followers on edge. Today, we're diving deep into what really happened when he was hospitalized, the statements his wife has made, and how this crisis could impact his ministry and personal life. In this video, you'll get the full story, from the timeline of events leading up to the emergency, to the reactions from family, church members, and the public. We'll also examine any rumors, speculations, and confirmed facts surrounding this shocking health scare. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of the situation and the stakes involved. Make sure you stay until the very end, because some revelations are only just coming to light, and you won't want to miss them. The story begins just days before Pastor Creflo Dollar was rushed to the hospital. According to sources close to the family, Dollar had been experiencing unusual health symptoms that seemed to worsen quickly. Friends reported that he was unusually fatigued, had been complaining of chest pains, and was struggling to maintain his usual demanding schedule. For someone who was often seen preaching multiple times a week and managing one of the largest ministries in the United States, these signs were alarming. In addition to the physical symptoms, insiders noted a shift in his demeanor. Those close to the family say that he appeared stressed and preoccupied, often taking private calls and spending more time in isolation than usual. Rumors began circulating online about the seriousness of his condition, but nothing had been officially confirmed until the emergency hospitalization. The night of the incident, according to eyewitness accounts, Pastor Dollar reportedly experienced a severe episode that prompted immediate medical attention. Emergency responders were called to his home, and he was quickly transported to a nearby hospital. This sudden turn of events sent shockwaves through both his congregation and the broader Christian community. Many wondered, was this merely a health scare, or was there something deeper at play? Adding to the tension, the timing of this incident came amid ongoing discussions about Pastor Dollar's ministry and finances, which have often been the subject of public scrutiny. Questions started emerging online. Could the stress of running a high-profile ministry have contributed to this health crisis? And what role, if any, did personal matters play in his sudden hospitalization? The uncertainty created a ripple effect. Church members, followers on social media, and even critics were glued to updates, trying to piece together what had really happened. As details slowly emerged, it became clear that this wasn't just a simple health scare. It could have far-reaching implications for Dollar, his family, and his ministry. But just when it seemed like the story was starting to make sense, an unexpected revelation from his wife added a whole new layer to the situation, one that would shock even those who thought they knew everything about the pastor. Stay tuned, because this next part changes everything you thought you knew. As news of Pastor Creflo Dollar's hospitalization spread, millions of his followers anxiously awaited updates. The public was left wondering about his condition. And then, his wife stepped forward with a statement that would captivate headlines and social media alike. For the first time since the emergency, she addressed the public directly, providing insight into not only his health, but also the personal struggles behind the scenes. In her statement, she described the severity of the situation, explaining that the pastor's condition had deteriorated quickly, necessitating immediate medical attention. She expressed gratitude for the prayers and support from followers, but also painted a picture of how close the family came to facing an even more serious outcome. Her words were filled with emotion, revealing a side of Pastor Dollar rarely seen by the public, vulnerable, human, and dependent on the care and love of his family. But her revelations didn't stop at health updates. She subtly hinted at the stress and pressures that Pastor Dollar had been under for months. Running one of the largest ministries in the country comes with enormous responsibility, and she admitted that the strain had taken a toll, not just physically, but emotionally. For years, Dollar has been known for his messages of prosperity and success. But behind the scenes, even he is not immune to the challenges and burdens that accompany a life in the public eye. What really caught the attention of the public were the hints about private struggles. Without revealing too many personal details, she mentioned that recent months had brought a series of challenges, both health-related and otherwise, that left the family deeply concerned. Observers began to speculate about what exactly she meant. Were these purely health complications, or were there other factors, stress, pressure from ministry obligations, or even family tensions, that had contributed to this emergency? Her statement also included a heartfelt appeal to the public for privacy and understanding, emphasizing that while the world watched, this was a deeply personal moment for their family. She thanked the medical team and highlighted the importance of community support during times of crisis, but left viewers hanging with one crucial line: "We are still waiting for answers, and we pray for guidance every single day." This revelation opened up an entirely new chapter in the story. Followers and critics alike began analyzing her words for hidden meanings. Could there be undisclosed medical issues? Did this hint at long-standing personal or ministry-related stress? Social media was ablaze with theories, and every new report seemed to raise more questions than answers. Just when it seemed like the narrative was starting to take shape, an insider source revealed shocking details about what happened in the hours immediately following Pastor Dollar's admission to the hospital. This revelation could redefine how the public sees the entire incident and could have serious implications for the pastor, his ministry, and the perception of his personal life. Stay tuned, because the next part of this story uncovers these details, and they are nothing short of astonishing. When Pastor Creflo Dollar arrived at the hospital, the situation quickly escalated into a full-blown medical emergency. According to sources close to the family, doctors were immediately concerned about his condition. Reports indicate that he was admitted to the intensive care unit for close monitoring, with medical staff running a series of tests to determine the exact cause of his sudden health crisis. While official statements have been limited, insiders confirmed that his condition was serious enough to warrant immediate intervention, and the family remained at his side throughout the ordeal. Hospital staff reportedly worked around the clock, monitoring his vitals, conducting scans, and administering treatments to stabilize his condition. It was a tense situation, not just for Pastor Dollar, but also for the family and the congregation who were watching every update. Social media lit up with followers expressing concern, sharing prayers, and speculating on the potential outcomes. The sudden nature of his hospitalization left many shocked, as Pastor Dollar had always projected an image of strength, confidence, and vitality. Inside the hospital, the atmosphere was reportedly one of urgency and anxiety. Friends and church members who had access to updates described scenes of worry and heightened tension. The pastor's team and family were working tirelessly to ensure he received the best care possible, and they were also carefully managing what information was released to the public. There were reports that the doctors had emphasized the need for rest and stress reduction, hinting that overwork and the pressures of ministry life could have contributed to this crisis. This revelation sparked a broader conversation online about the toll that public life and leadership can take on individuals, especially those in high-profile religious positions. Many pointed out that Pastor Dollar's demanding schedule, combined with the scrutiny and criticism that comes with being a megachurch leader, could have serious consequences on health. Some experts in health and wellness weighed in, suggesting that stress-related complications, lifestyle factors, or undiagnosed medical conditions might have played a role in the sudden hospitalization. Meanwhile, reactions from the church community were swift and emotional. Messages of hope, support, and prayer flooded social media, and leaders within the Christian community publicly urged followers to pray for his full recovery. Yet behind these messages of solidarity, speculation continued to grow. Some questioned whether there were additional underlying issues that had not been disclosed. Others wondered if this event might impact the ministry's operations or Dollar's ability to continue leading at the same capacity. Just as the hospital saga seemed to reach a temporary calm, insiders revealed a dramatic turn in Pastor Dollar's condition. Late one night, doctors reportedly made a critical decision regarding his care, one that could change the course of his recovery and potentially influence the future of his ministry. Details about this decision remain scarce, but it has left both followers and critics anxiously waiting for more information. The uncertainty and suspense surrounding these developments set the stage for what could be the most pivotal chapter in Pastor Dollar's recent life. And the next part of this story delves into the personal and public consequences of this crisis, details that may surprise even his most devoted followers. As news of Pastor Creflo Dollar's hospitalization spread, the story quickly exploded across media outlets, social media platforms, and discussion forums. Followers, critics, and curious onlookers all scrambled for updates, creating a whirlwind of speculation, rumor, and sometimes misinformation. While many expressed concern for his health and offered prayers, others couldn't resist delving into past controversies, questioning whether his sudden medical crisis was connected to the pressures and controversies surrounding his life and ministry. Major news networks and religious media outlets ran headlines highlighting the shocking emergency, often emphasizing the vulnerability of a man who is usually seen as a figure of strength and prosperity. Social media, however, added a layer of drama that traditional news could not. Hashtags like shots Creflo Dollar hospitalized, pray for Pastor Dollar, and Creflo crisis began trending as millions engaged in heated debates. Some argued that his hospitalization was a wake-up call for leaders in high-pressure religious roles, while others speculated about underlying health issues that had long been kept private. At the same time, skeptics and critics of Pastor Dollar were quick to voice their opinions. Many referenced previous controversies involving his ministry, particularly discussions around wealth, donations, and the lifestyle of Megachurch pastors. The sudden health scare fueled a renewed wave of scrutiny, as some people questioned whether the intense stress of maintaining such a high-profile ministry could have contributed to this event. Yet, amid the swirling rumors and media attention, genuine support poured in from the church community. Congregants organized prayer chains, online vigils, and messages of encouragement. Several pastors and religious leaders publicly expressed solidarity, reminding everyone that even influential figures are human and susceptible to health struggles. Their statements emphasized empathy, unity, and the power of community support during times of crisis. Interestingly, the public reaction also highlighted a divide. While some celebrated Pastor Dollar's legacy and contributions, others took the opportunity to dissect every detail of his life and ministry. Online forums debated potential consequences, from changes in church leadership to the impact on his philanthropic work. Questions about the pastor's future ability to lead and preach became a trending topic. Could this health scare force him to step back, even temporarily, from his ministry responsibilities? Or would it become a turning point that strengthens his influence in the long run? Adding to the tension, insiders hinted at private family discussions taking place behind closed doors. While the pastor's wife had already made a public statement, it became evident that the family was grappling with deeper concerns about his health and lifestyle. Sources suggest that conversations about reducing stress, reevaluating work commitments, and prioritizing wellness were now at the forefront. These revelations added another layer of suspense. Would Pastor Dollar embrace these changes, or would the demands of ministry continue to dominate his life? Ultimately, the hospitalization and public reaction underscore a larger narrative about the pressures faced by high-profile religious figures. The mixture of support, speculation, and scrutiny demonstrates how a single event can ripple far beyond the immediate crisis. And as of now, the story is still unfolding. Followers are holding on to hope, critics are analyzing every move, and the world watches closely to see what comes next.